We're pleased to start this season by featuring a collaboration beer that is exclusive to Dabbler in a Box Season 5. The Messenger Imperial Porter is a collaboration between Northeast Minneapolis' Broken Clock Brewing Cooperative and the Brewing Change Collaborative, which is a local advocacy group emphasizing diversity, inclusion, and equity for people of color in craft beer.
True warmth comes not from the fire, but from the effort. That's the true North spirit.
I'm always questioning the validity of a collaboration. I don't go into any decision for this organization lightheartedly. I think about what are the net gains for us overall. Who is it benefiting? If it's only benefiting to make a beer and move on and you can put our name on it, I'm not for that. If it's to make a statement and to, again, make change or doing something, then I think that's when a collab is beneficial. BCC, Brewing Change Collaborative, is a Minnesota nonprofit with the mission to foster diversity, equity, and inclusion for people of color in the brewing and beverage industry through education, advocacy, and outreach. What we're trying to do is make safe space for people of color. You have to allow for people to not know anything when they walk in the door, certainly, physically. You also have to realize that most people of color are not walking to a space where they don't see anyone who looks like them and thinking that's a welcoming environment. Most people aren't coming from the openness and ability to do that. This collaboration came about because we all know 2020 was a hell year with the pandemic being what it was and then George Floyd being murdered. It prompted a large number of reactions. One good thing was the Black is Beautiful initiative that came from Marcus and Weathered Souls out of Texas. And our organization, Brewing Change, got an insane amount of reach outs, an insane amount of people trying to donate, an insane amount of people trying to find out what we were about, collaborate. Having a conversation with Jeremy and Broken Clock gave me some relief. It gave me a lot of relief, actually. They had an answer when I asked, what are you gonna do? What are you doing beyond this donation? What are you doing beyond this phone call or this email? And they sent a plan. It was clear it wasn't slapped together. It was clear that it wasn't hasty. It was clear that they had really taken into consideration a lot of people's opinions and a lot of people's experiences. And we decided that we wanted to continue to be in connection with them. When Dabbler reached out, they were honestly the first group that I thought of wanting to do this collaboration with.
We knew it wasn't just one piece to the puzzle. We kind of looked at a three-prong approach and said, okay, let's first look at our community, at ourselves first, and see the words that we're using and the interactions that we have with one another and say, are we truly diverse? Are we reaching out into all communities and all ethnicities and welcoming everyone? We may say we welcome, but how do we truly welcome everyone? Then we say, okay, from a business standpoint, how are our policies diverse? How is it equitable to everybody? What vendors can we give opportunity for that need the help? Not just a handout, but a help. And then to look at legislature and say, there are systematic problems here, and what is our part as a community to help change those systems? And that's what's exciting to me as part of the plan, is the learning aspect, is the education, is we're learning from one another and we're learning from each other's own perspectives and experiences. And that's so important. I think that's the piece that we sometimes miss. But when you sit down with a beer, you can take that time to learn from another's experience and to gain from their wisdom.
So in our Dabbler Blended box, this is going to be the season 5, and it's going to be featuring our beer. It's called the Messenger. It is a barrel-aged imperial porter, and we did it in collaboration with Brewing Change Cooperative.
The stories that we get to tell with this beer and the beers that will follow it is powerful because we stand on their shoulders.
It's only right to bring a little light through delicious beer on African culture and or the way African Americans have impacted the very infrastructure and history of the country.
And I think that was a really good segue for us to start doing this collaboration with Broken Clock, where we can have it as a series, as a teaching moment and educational moving forward. It only made sense at the end of the day, as far as what our collaboration for a beer, from an educational standpoint, should be something that relates back to, again, where brewing started in Africa.
You know, we had some conversations with Brewing Change Collaborative. We wanted to figure out, you know, what's sellable seasonally, and so we decided on a dark malty porter.
We talked about some of the ingredients that we plan on using, whether it's a light roast Ethiopian coffee, whether it's chicory, cardamom, maybe doing something with sorghum, which is one of the oldest grains that's been used in Africa and still used in a lot of villages today.
Which is pretty exciting for me because as a brewer, I actually haven't worked with some of these products that we're putting in the beer, so it's really opens up that creativity door. So I'd break this beer down into being dark, malty, and savory. When I say dark, I mean like roast, a lot of chocolate, and with it being barrel aged, you also pick up a lot of the bourbon, the kind of the wood, the tannins in the wood.
In 2021, we're looking forward to doing obviously more collaborations with more breweries, more organizations, more nonprofits. We're doing more on the education side, just like we are here with Broken Clock. We hope to continue also the series of the Messenger with Broken Clock as well as we move into 2021. We're establishing scholarships as well for our members to be able to go to, whether it's Cicerone classes or sommelier classes, among other things as well.
As president of Outreach, I just want to create relationships and build relationships with other entities within the cities so that we can kind of create a nice little intrigue and create and start events that create a space for individuals who didn't know there was a space for it.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.